Hello, everyone, and welcome to Broncos Boomers. On today's show, I will be talking about the possibility of price increases at the new stadium. Stick around and enjoy the conversation.
Welcome to Broncos Boomers.
Guys, on today's show, I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things. All right. So it's going to be a fantastic show. But before we get to that, here we go. It's 5:00 showtime. All right, guys. Welcome to the new show, Broncos Boomers, on the MHRT network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments along with yours in the chat. This is, let me turn all this off, guys. I'm sorry about that. This is Broncos Boomers. All right, guys, we'll get to this momentarily. I apologize. I need to hit the sound off. There we go. All right. Okay, guys, I hope each and every one of you had a fantastic week. I know that it is quite warm out here in Southern California. Humidity's been very high this year. This summer, it just has been extremely high. But hey, it's all good. I mean, it's summertime, and that's what I love. I love the fact that it's summer, it's warm. I can be outside and smoke some meat or grill some meat or just be outside and just enjoy the weather. We got real good breeze here and all that. So really, not a bad week. Not a bad week. All right. Dakota White House. What is up? The title in question depends on how much the capacity of the new stadium has. Anything over 80,000, and it's probably the prices will be lower. Dakota White House 97. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I'll get right into that right after I do the very first topic, and then I'll get into the main topic. That's a good point. We got that's going to be a good discussion. I've got both sides of the coin. I can see both sides of the coin on this, and we will definitely get into that. All right. Also, Tico Gomez 9882 says, "Let's go A's and Raiders." Absolutely. You know, I think it's great that Vegas is expanding into sports. I mean, they've always been into gambling in sports, so why not have, you know, a baseball team, a football team, a hockey team? What's next? Basketball? Where's that coming from? Is that going to be expansion? Is that going to be possibly, I don't know, Golden State Warriors? I see that. I don't know. I don't know much about basketball, but that's interesting, though, that Vegas is really pushing to get these sports teams. And why not? Why not, in my opinion? Absolutely, why not? All right, let's get into the very first topic, and then we'll get back to your comments in just a little bit. All right. On a sad note, again, CTE rears its ugly head once again. And at a very, I wouldn't say young age, but certainly not young age, you know, for football, no doubt about it. And you know, I would say that to me, I'm older than this person who passed away. Here it is. All right. Chargers legend Billy Ray Smith passed away on July 29th at the age of 64. Smith fought through dementia caused by CTE. Now, I'm kind of wondering, how do they know that? Because you can only diagnose CTE if you're passed away. Well, he passed away on the 29th. Now, did they already do the CTE testing? Possibly. Didn't say whether or not, you know, his brain was donated to science, so to speak, or the NFL or anybody else. Interesting that they already connected the dots on that one. But maybe it's because they've seen it before. I don't know. Anyways, says Smith was one of the most respected NFL players, leaving a lasting mark not only on the organization, but the entire NFL. Billy Ray, rest in peace. He did so much more outside of football. He had charities. He donated a lot of money. They were constantly helping people, and so it's fantastic that he left behind a legacy. But passing away at 64 from dementia and CTE. You know, I'm telling you guys, I love football just as much as you guys do. Absolutely love football. But man, to see what these guys are having to go through after football in life, just trying to function. And then unfortunately, their loved ones have to see a life taken so early, so to speak, because people are living longer, to pass away at the age of 64. It's just heartbreaking. It really, really is heartbreaking. And Billy Ray Smith was married. Well, he still is married, or obviously not now, but was until he passed, to an anchor at what station was that in San Diego? I can't remember, but her name is Kimberly Hunt. Kimberly Hunt was married to Billy Ray Smith for years. She has to be devastated. Kimberly Hunt has to be devastated. I am so sorry to hear this. Kimberly Hunt is such a great anchor. I don't know if she's retired. I don't live in the San Diego area anymore, so I can't get the news or updates. I guess I could on internet. But anyways, very, very sad. Dakota Whitehouse says, my condolences to his family. Absolutely. No two questions about that. Absolutely. Let's see. Okay, so let's get to the main topic. Billy Ray, just wrapping that up. Billy Ray, rest in peace, my friend. Rest in peace. Not that I ever met him or anything, but kind of felt like I knew his wife just by watching the news and the anchors, that the anchorship, I guess. I don't know what you call it, anchoring a show or whatever, So, yeah. Anyways, very, very sad. Okay. Main topic is, are the Denver Broncos going to raise ticket prices at the new stadium? Well, I see both sides of this, and I'm going to bring out the passion on this because, it's crazy. It's crazy what they can do. But like I said, on the flip side, I have a flip side that is very, very similar to this. So here we go. The Denver Broncos will be building a new stadium that is going to be the state of the art. No doubt about it. Retractable roof, the whole bit. It's going to be fantastic. But does it come with a price? And I don't mean a ticket price. I mean a one-time big ticket cost. And it's not for a ticket to get you in. It's a ticket that assigns you to that particular seat. What is it? Well, enter the PSL. That stands for, okay? That stands for personal seat license. And the Broncos are thinking about implementing this in their new stadium. What exactly is a personal seat license, you ask? Here we go. That means if a person wants a season, if a person wants season tickets for a particular seat, let's say you want the mid level of a stadium, and you want the front row, and you want it on the 50-yard line. That's not going to be cheap, guys. That is not going to be cheap. Now, depending on your region, it also said depending on your region, depending on the capacity. I believe we had that a little earlier up here. Dakota brought that out. The capacity of the new stadium has anything over 80,000, and it's probably the prices will be lower. So it's all based on capacity, size of stadium, newness maybe. I don't know. Could be brand new stadium. Might say, hey, it's brand new. We want to get our money's worth, so to speak. Well, yeah, they're getting their money's worth, all right. And anyways, what I'm saying is, if you want that seat it will range. If you're way up, and I'll get to that. If you're way on the way up here, it's not going to be as expensive if you're on the 50-yard line at field level. I guarantee it. Let me continue. Let me back up. It says that means if a person wants season tickets for that seat every season, that seat would be that person's with the one-time payment of the personal seat license. Okay, so you go there and you say, okay, I want 50-yard line, middle of the stadium, Bronco side, first row. Okay. And I'm getting 2 seats. So now you're going to buy 2 PSLs for life. Basically, it's for life. Okay. That means, what would the amount be? I don't know, but let me continue. Prices per PSL differ due to location or market. It can range from $1,000 for upper level, very top, upper level. All right. For $1,000 for upper level to over, guys, sit down for this one. Sit down for this one. To over 100,000 for VIP or club seats. Okay. Now you say, okay, well, that's all well and good. Corporate people will buy that. Sure, they will. That's per seat, guys. VIP or club seats. Not the suite. You're not renting a suite for 100,000 for life and getting it every game. No, per seat. What do suites go for? I don't know. Obviously, those aren't going to be any PSLs. This is only what they're thinking about because they want to try and recoup a little bit of the money that they're going to be putting in to build the stadium. Okay? All right? All that's well and good. But $100,000 or $1,000 for a seat? Dude, I remember back in the day, I could go to Disneyland for $6. Disneyland now is 105, 110. My next door neighbor works at the Disneyland Grand Hotel, and he tells me it goes up constantly. People are still going. So people will go to this. I thought to myself, man, Disneyland for $6? That was back when did I go when it was Jimmy the Cricket. They called it Jimmy the Cricket night. It was fantastic, man. You get the whole Disneyland. Of course, it didn't have all the rides they got now. It was scaled down, but $6? You can't even go to Starbucks today for $6. My wife loves Starbucks. I go to Starbucks. I don't go to Starbucks. I go to Rouse, who has a Starbucks in there. And whenever I'm there, she's like, yeah, I give me a Starbucks. You want to give me a Starbucks? I said, sure. I go there. She gets this drink with about 18 different ingredients. I don't know what all this stuff. Don't add this. Don't add that. Make it light here. Make it dark. I don't know what the heck. Anyways, I read it. She sent it to me in text. I read it. Anyways, that being said, all of a sudden the guy goes, okay, well, that'll be $6.75. Huh? $6.75 for a freaking coffee? I remember I'd go to the restaurant with coffee and it cost 15 cents. And you could refill it all day long. All day long, you could refill that coffee for 15 cents. $6.75. Well, they fluff it up. Well, I'll bring the motherfucking thing home and I'll fluff it up here. But hey, I mean, my wife likes it. So anyway, I got off track like I always do, guys. But okay, so so the other side of the coin is people, like I mentioned, if you want to be a member of a country club, that Travis Tritt song, I'm a member of a country club. That's a good song, man. Anyways, if you want to be a member of a country club, then you have to pay a one-time membership fee. That's how they keep the grounds going, and they're pretty pricey. At the golf course where I work, there's a guy that he's a member of a country club, or not country club, but member of a golf course in the area. And he said it was like, I don't know, I think he said it was paid $15,000. Like, holy cow, 15,000. He goes, yeah, but I can golf. I golf for like pennies on the dollar or whatever. I think it's like half or 1/3 off or something like that. And he can do that as many times as he wants. He can do that every day of the week. He's a member. He calls up, hey, I'm Joe Blow, whatever. And they go, oh, hey, how you doing, Mr. Whatever? And then and then he can go golf anytime he wants. So they go. But 15 grand or something like that, it's a one-time shot. I don't know. Is it something that you guys would be willing to pay? I'm not sure if the average Joe Blow, well, average Joe Blow doesn't buy season tickets. This is only for season tickets. This isn't for everyday tickets. It didn't say that. PSL is a personal seat licensing for season ticket holders. I'm pretty positive that's what it said. So that being said, I mean, the regular people like myself that, you know, can go to games and things of that nature. This won't apply to them. Now, how many season tickets are the Broncos season ticket holders are the Broncos going to have? I have no idea, especially if they're paying PSLs. Does that mean there's going to be more open seating, so to speak, which means outside fans can come in, which I don't like. Can't stand that. Don't want it. But, you know, I mean, Bronco ownership doesn't give a rat's patoot if a Bronco fan is sitting in the stands, or it's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, or Green Bay Packer fan, or somebody, I don't know, some other fan. They don't care. Why? Because the money is already there. They don't care where the money comes from, and they don't care who sits in the stands, as long as somebody is sitting in the stands. That's what they want. And if they can get extra for season ticket holders, by George, they're going to do it. Hey, I work at a golf course that doesn't have membership. People come there all the time. Why? Because they don't need to have a membership. But if you want to be able to golf 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week, then you go have a membership and you can have that. Now, I'm not saying you can't golf 7 times in a row at my place. Sure you can. But not at a reduced rate because of the membership. Okay, so that's the whole deal. Is this going to benefit everyone? Well, I know for a fact it's going to benefit the Walton Penner ownership group. That's a given. Is it going to benefit the everyday fan that wants to go? Only if season ticket holders don't pony up, and there's not as many season ticket holders. That bothers me, and it also bothers me in a way that the Bronco ownership group would do this. Pat Bowen would never do this. Pat Bowen would never, ever think of PSLs. Ever. I don't know. I love the ownership group for what they've done. And I'm kind of skeptical. I'm not really liking this. Because are they pushing away the everyday fan base? The ones that pay season tickets? Is that the ones that they're pushing away? It's a little bothersome to me. It is, because I don't want to watch a Bronco. I don't want to turn on the game and watch a Bronco game and have a stadium that holds 80,000 and only 60,000 are there. I'm not going to like that. And why wouldn't they be there? Because of season ticket holders. I'm hoping that's not the case. But anyways, I thought that was interesting that they're thinking about PSLs. It's just, I know it's a business. I know, guys, it's a business. But holy smokes, everything in this world is going up in price. Everything. Gasoline? I mean, shoot, I'm paying $5.59 out here. I mean, maybe that's not outrageous. Like some place in San Francisco up around 7 or 8. I get that, but I don't live up there. So, but it's still outrageous. Anyways, all right. Where am I at here? Let's see. Hey, thank you so much, man. He says, Auto Detroit says, go Cubs. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, they're playing right now against the Kansas City Royals, and there's no score. It's the bottom of the first. They're playing in Kansas City. And the Cubs pitcher is Kevin Guzman. They traded for him right before the trade deadline. All right, here we go. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. The grandma. He said he wants to know, can you shout out me? My name is Dixon Myers. All right. Big shout out to Dixon Myers. All right, buddy. All right, man. Thanks for joining and jumping in the chat. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay. JW Whitting says, hey, Bill, where's Kona? Well, the network has gone a completely different direction. I'm back to being solo, and not sure what Kona is going to be doing, but as of right now, for the foreseeable future, it's just me. I know that Kona had a lot of things going on with his kids and things at school and work, and sometimes he just couldn't be on. And nothing against him, absolutely nothing against him. It's just the network went in a completely different direction. So, anyways, there's your answer. That's your answer. Dakota says, I don't live in Denver. Neither do I. Live in Southern California. I don't live in Denver, so you can forget me wanting to do either season tickets or PSLs. That is true. That's true. Oh, you know what scares me? Well, not really, but I was thinking, what if they are able to do something like a PSL for watching the games? Oh. Don't erase that. Don't air that part, because they'll probably want to do it. Holy smokes. Anytime they can get extra money, man. They what gets me is these packages. So you have to have a certain package if you don't have Sunday ticket. You have to have a certain package to get, let's say, NFL Network. Or you have to have a certain sports package to get MLB TV. Or a certain sports pack. It's crazy. Why don't they do it individually? Why? Because if you go in that next tier, they get more dinero. That's Espanol/Spanish for money. That's what it is. That's what they're after. Everybody's after that. I mean, just think about it. Everybody's after the greenback. Everybody. And if they can find a way to squeeze a little bit more out of you, a la PSLs, they'll do it. That's what they're after, man. Dakota comes back and says, again, it all depends on capacity. I have reason to believe that the Waltons would want to chase the largest capacity in the NFL, something like 83,000 or more. Wow. All right, let me ask you this, guys out there. Dakota, let me ask you this. Let's say the stadium's 83,000. Do the Broncos fill 83,000 seats? I know there's a waiting list to get season tickets. I know that. But if a PSL goes into effect, are they going to be able to sell out 83,000 seats? Any given Sunday, no matter who they're playing. What if they're playing a crappy team that's like 0-8 or 0-9? And are their fans going to show up? Are they going to fill an 83,000 stadium? I don't know. I don't know. I know they can fill a 76,000. Well, that's only 7,000 more. Maybe they can. Hopefully, if that's the case, they can. And with the dome, retractable roof, and 83,000 seat capacity, hello, Super Bowl. Hello, Super Bowl. And think about other things. They could have dirt bike racing, whatever they do in them. What do they call that thing? They could have monster trucks. They could have soccer. They could have concerts. I mean, it'd be perfect venue. Nice number though. I like that 83,000. I like that. I think that's a good number. Whew, wow. David Yonkin, what is up? Just stopping by later. All right, David. Have a great evening, man. Thank you so much for stopping in. He follows that up by saying the fans will show up. I would agree to that. I just don't know, because there are some times, well, the fans bought the tickets at Mile High and for 76,000 some odd amount of seats. Yes, it was always a sellout. But not all the fans were there. Not all the people were there. That's my point. Sure, it could be an 83,000 seat sellout. But what if only 60,000 show up? I know the Walton Penner ownership group won't care in the pocketbook, they'll care when it comes to they'll care when it comes to announcers pointing out, wow, it's a sellout, but 25,000 people are no shows. That never goes over well. So I think in the pocketbook, they don't care because they're getting the money. It's sold out. But I think in the bigger picture, they're not going to want to have and see empty seats. They're not going to want that. If you remember the old Washington Redskins, Commanders. Well, Redskins did too, I think. But they have this tarp across the top of the upper deck of the stadium because they couldn't sell them out. And they didn't want to look like empty seats. So they put these big freaking tarps on them. People knew that they were covering up seats, but it just didn't look so bad. It just didn't have that, wow, look at all them empty seats. It didn't have that. It just had, oh, that's a nice little tarp or banner or whatever they put on. So I get it. David Jonkin, he's been a member for 8 months. All right, David, way to go, man. Thank you so much for being a member. Absolutely. 8 months and counting. Way to go, dude. Thank you so much. Okay. Bobby Soker, I think it is, has a question, says, question for you, bro. Me. Now, how can you call it the World Series World Champions when only American teams compete in baseball? No. You have the Toronto Blue Jays. You have the I think used to have the Montreal Expos. Those are gone. Calgary. No, that's all hockey. Toronto Blue Jays are the only American League team. So I guess that's how you call world. I don't know. I didn't make it up. But I mean, I've thought of that as well. But when Canada has a team in there, albeit only Toronto, well, technically it's outside of the United States. I guess reality, you wouldn't call it World Series. You would call it North American Championship. That would be appropriate. I don't know. I like the ring of the World Series, but I guess we just had the World Cup, and that was literally the world, according to the definition, correct definition. It was the world going for the World Cup. Here, not so much. So I get your point. I really do appreciate it. So cool. Thank you so much, man. I know, bud. I know, Bobby. It ain't the world. I know. Like I said, I didn't make it up. I didn't do it. Dakota, going back to the main topic, says, as long as the prices are low and the product is good, the fans will arrive in the thousands. Good point. I mean, I watch the Broncos, support the Broncos every single game, whether they win, lose, or draw. I'm always supporting them. Always watching, always there. I mean, you guys know, if you guys tune into the neighborhood, you know. Well, true, Bobby. Respectfully, the rest of the world doesn't play baseball. There you go. Good answer. Really good. Yeah, great question. Great question, man. Really do like it. Thanks. All right. Moving on. This is tragic. This is tragic. Not deathly tragic, but definitely preventable. And I'm going to do a PSA. You guys don't know what that means. That stands for public service announcement. Okay? I'm going to do a public service announcement in regards to this next topic. Here it is. About 2 weeks ago, Kyle Shanahan, 49ers head coach, was involved in a serious car accident. Shanahan suffered a broken nose, 3 ribs, his hand, and needed over 40 stitches in his face, as well as suffering a concussion. Here's the PSA, guys. He admitted to looking down, trying to find his phone that had fallen between the seats. When he turned to the right, he said, when he turned to the right to look down to grab the phone, He turned the wheel the opposite way. He turned the wheel the opposite way, which means what? Class, what means what? If you're in the right lane, cars coming towards you, it means you're going into that oncoming car's lane. That's exactly what he did. And it turned out to be a head-on collision. Kyle Shanahan could easily died in that crash. But and I hate to say but these are not life-threatening injuries. Guys, the PSA is this: don't look down. Don't look for your phone. Don't look at your phone. It takes a split second to make a mistake that could cost your life. Let me repeat that again, what he suffered. He suffered a broken nose, 3 ribs, his hand, and needed over 40 stitches in his face, as well as suffering a concussion. Kyle, you're fortunate to be alive. You're fortunate the driver that you hit is alive. You are extremely fortunate. That is all you suffered. People, please, please, please don't look down. Don't look for your phone. Don't look for something you dropped. Just pull off to the side of the road. Put your flashers on and look for it. It's not rocket science. I mean, seriously? Let me think for a moment. I'm driving at X amount of speed. You know what's a good idea? I think I'll just look between the seats and pick up the phone, because I don't have time to pull over. Oh, but you got time to get a broken nose and a broken hand and broken ribs. I'm not angry at him. I'm just emphasizing the fact of how it happens in a split second. 1 minute, everything's fine. Next minute, bam! Came within of death. You hit something with your head correctly. Well, not correctly. I should use that word. In the right spot or the wrong spot, however you want to take it. That could be your life. It could break your neck, depending on what you hit. Kyle, learn your lesson. Maybe this is a wake-up call for not only you, but everyone. Maybe this is a wake-up call. Because you know what? When I read this story originally, and I know what happened a couple weeks ago, guys, but I haven't done the show for the entire month of July with the network making changes and birthdays and anniversaries and things of that nature. It was a well welcomed break. But that being said, I know it's a couple weeks ago, but guys, this is an everyday occurrence. This is an everyday thing in life. People do this all the time. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've taken my eyes off the road, but after reading that, I ain't doing that no more. It can wait. I know we all think we're invincible. We all think, I can just reach down. I can see it right there. Oh, there it is. And then you reach, and the steering wheel goes that way. Or you pull it towards you, and now you're hitting the curb on the right side, or somebody else in another lane if it's a 2-lane place. Just saying, Kyle, you are extremely, extremely fortunate that you're alive. That you are alive. Very, very fortunate. All right. Let's see. U.S. Dave, how you doing, buddy? Glad to have you in the chat, man. Thank you so much. Can't imagine any type A pro coach nowadays not utilizing every possible moment available to their advantage. That's true. That is true. I get it. I know, but I don't know. I don't know, man. It just gets me, man. That's it. Hey, what's up, my brother-in-law? Not from Vegas, where he used to be, but in South Carolina. What's up, my brother? Rudy, what's happening? What's up, Uncle Bill? I said, what's up, Rudy? Thanks for jumping in. You're 3 hours ahead. It's 8:34 where you are, but thank you so much for jumping in, man. Really do appreciate it. All right. Now we are going to get to this week's, although it didn't happen this week, it happened a week or so ago. But again, it is this week's Jackass of the Week. Oh, yeah. Mr. Tony Romo is this week's Jackass of the Week. Tony, all right. These guys I've mentioned many, many times before. These guys make way more money than I'll ever see in my lifetime. And they don't call a limo or take a limo or have a buddy take them or wherever they're going. No. I think I'll just get in the car. And drive. Because that's what I like to do. I like to drive myself. Well, you drove yourself all right into not having a job. There we go. Lead analyst for CBS Sports, Tony Romo, was arrested last week. I believe it might have been a week, not this past week, but the week before, on suspicion of DWI. I think it was DWI. I put DUI, but I think it was driving while impaired, because they couldn't nail whether it was alcohol, because apparently he left wherever he was and he drove on the freeway 2 to 2.5 hours before he got pulled over. And he got pulled over because he made an illegal lane change. Yeah, that'll get you stopped, probably. Here we go. But I'm not on Tony Romo's side. I'm not on Tony Romo's side at all. What side I am on is I'm not on anybody's side. I'm just bringing the facts. All right. I'm trying to find something. Okay, I can't find it. I'm just trying to bring the facts. Okay, and the fact is, he drove in a state that doesn't really have a punishment for DWI's first offense. Let me continue reading. This took place in Wisconsin. The first offense is just a civil offense and carries a fine ranging from $150 to $300. Period. That's it. $150 to $300 for a first offense in Wisconsin of driving impaired, which is weird because you can cause that. We just went and did an accident. That wasn't somebody who was impaired. That was somebody who was distracted. Same kind of thing. But in Wisconsin, it's only a civil offense and a fine, not jail time. Nothing like that. No court case. Nope. Let me continue. Due to this arrest, Romo has been put on leave from CBS. Now, I have an update on that. An update from CBS is this. In their contract, okay, what they did was they put Romo on leave. They're going through the entire contract that was signed with Tony Romo and CBS. Guess what? CBS put in that contract a clause that says moral values that represent the values of CBS. Oops. CBS can now, and they can now remove Tony Romo from being an analyst on CBS because of the fact that his moral character was in direct conflict with CBS's moral character image that they portray. So CBS has let go of Tony Romo And he is no longer on the on the show, no longer on CBS, no longer with Jim Nance. It's done. It's over. He's done. $75 million contract voided. Way to go, Tony. Let me ask you a question. Was it worth making that drive? Now that you look back on it, was it worth making that drive? Was it a $75 million mistake? Oh yeah. It was a big mistake. Big mistake. It's not worth it, guys. It's just not worth it. Yeah. Way to go, Tony Romo. You are officially this week's jackass of the week. Yeah. Wow. Well, I was going to say, I bet he doesn't make that mistake again, but I wonder if he'll ever get hired somewhere else. Will another network pick him up? I'm just wondering that. I don't know. I have no idea. Nathaniel Hackett, US Dave says Nathaniel Hackett would never do something that dumb. Well, probably not. Madungus, what is up? 1,000 Jewels GOAT Trophy. I have no idea what that means. But pretty cool, whatever it is. 1,000 jewels. So can you explain Lucy? Because I have no idea. For those of you who don't know Lucy, that's what Ricky Ricardo would say on the Lucy show. God, that show was back in the 50s, man. It's all black and white. Shows. You know, I grew up on black and white TV. I grew up on black and white TV. In fact, color was so cool that when we'd be sitting when color first started coming out in the 1960s, I was like 2 years old when it first started, but I remember when I was about 7. It was about 1965. I remember we'd be myself, my sister, my mom would all be in a different room, and my dad would be yelling, "Hey, everybody, come on in! Everybody, come in! Come on! This show's in living color!" And it was so cool because it would do the whole little tune thing, and then the peacock would spin out. It was NBC. Peacock would spin out like this, and it would go NBC. It's pretty cool. Madonna said, I sent you a GOAT trophy because you are the GOAT, Bill. Lucy. Yep, Lucy McGillicuddy. That was okay. Now I got it. All right. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Absolutely appreciate it. Thanks so much. All right. Let's go to, this is a sad one. This, mental health, mental issues, they need to be spotted a lot sooner. And I know people are reluctant. If it's a family member, you're reluctant to say, hey, you know what? I think you got a problem. I think you need help. A lot of people don't want to get it. I understand that. But at some point in time, you got to take the bull by the horn, so to speak. You gotta make that move and say, hey, you know what, dude? You've got issues. We got to take care of this because I don't want you to hurt yourself. And I also don't want you to hurt others. Speaking of hurting others, how about your own mom? Here we go. Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy's wife, Mia, was shot at their home by their son, Elijah. Elijah was arrested and charged with malicious wounding with a firearm. Mia was wounded in the arm and chest. Mia is also in stable condition and recovering. My goodness, your own child? And then it goes on and says that that he's had some mental issues, and there were concerns from Eric, and there was concerns from his wife. Do something. You've got to do something. I know it's hard to wrap your head around the fact that your own child has mental issues or whatever reason brought it on or whatever cause it was. Get to the bottom of the issue. If you have to, somehow, some way, get them help whatever that is. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any. I don't have any time or any time I've ever been in a situation like that where I've had to say. Actually, there was, but I'm not going to bring it up. But it did work. I got that person some help, and as a family member, and it was and it was dealt with, and it was taken care of. And that's what you got to do sometimes. Sometimes you just got to have tough love and say, hey, enough's enough. We need to make sure you're okay, and that you're okay for yourself, and that you're okay for others. Wow. I wish all the best for Mia Bieniemy. I really do. I wish her a speedy recovery. I bet this is going to weigh heavy on Eric Bieniemy. He's an offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. I don't know how difficult that's going to be to try and focus on a game plan or whatever. With her on his mind, that's got to be a very, very difficult thing to do. But hey, and I know it's the Chiefs, and I'm not going to sit there and say, well, that's a good thing because we play Chiefs. No, I'm not saying that. Not saying that at all. This transcends, goes further. This is more important than football. This is a human life. This is a son that dang near killed his mom. This is a offensive coordinator that has a wife in the hospital that he's thinking about while he's trying to do his job. Yeah, it impacts a lot of people. Impacts the whole organization, the entire NFL. But I wish a speedy recovery. Godspeed for Mia Bieniemy and Eric, as well as the whole family is dealing with this. And I hope Elijah gets help. I really do. This is nothing to mess around with, guys. Things like this is nothing to mess around with. Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Steve Stanley. Steve Stanley says, "Why Bears? Why Bears? Why the Bears or why not the Bears?" Well, I'm a Cubs fan because I spent my 15th birthday in Wrigley Field. That was very, very impressive to me. I was 15 years old. I mean, it made a big impression in my life, and I got to see people like Ron Santo and the Cubs were playing the Giants, so I got to see Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Ron Santo, Ernie Banks, Ferguson Jenkins, all those guys, all those greats. Harry Carey leaning out the top of the booth and everything like that, singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." It was just impressionable. I close my eyes, I can see myself sitting in the seat. It was just impressionable. A Bronco fan because my oldest sister moved to Littleton, Colorado back in the 1976, I believe it was 75, 76. And I caught her passion when the Broncos went to the Super Bowl in 77. I caught her passion, and she would always call me up and say, "Hey, did you get to see the game?" I said, "No, I got to watch these stupid Chargers because I live in San Diego County, and that's all we got, and it sucks." So, but then I caught her passion. Then when the Broncos were in the playoffs, I watched that, of course, caught her passion. Then when we went to Super Bowl, we lost to the 49ers. We lost to the Cowboys. That was my dad's favorite team, so that was crushing. But, yeah, that's the reason why I'm a Broncos fan. That's the reason why I'm a Cubs fan. And I'm an Avalanche fan because I've always loved hockey. I had season tickets to San Diego Gulls minor league when I lived down in San Diego. And I've always loved hockey. And because I love the state of Colorado and I'm a Broncos fan, when the Quebec Nordiques moved to Colorado, bingo, Avalanche fan. And ironically, they moved there in 1996. 1996, and then they win the Stanley Cup the same year. Fantastic. Loved it. Or they moved in 95 and they won the Stanley Cup in 96, something like that. But anyways, it was their first year in Colorado and they win the Stanley Cup. That was amazing. Of course, that was icing on the cake because I was already an Avalanche fan. Then they have them win it the first year. They're in Colorado. Love it. Let's see. Steve, Broncos, the enemy. Well, hey, that's okay. Broncos don't play the Bears all the time. Once every 4 years, I believe it is, something like that. But hey, it's all good. Same colors, orange and blue. So that would have been a cool Super Bowl. Bears and Broncos, both wearing orange and blue. That'd be pretty cool. All right. Freaking Rudy, it's the lotion with THC. Come on, man. I'll put it up there just for you. There you go. How do you like that? There you go. Oh my gosh, Rudy. Yep. Rudy never changed. Never changed. But then again, I wouldn't want you to. Wouldn't want you to. All right. Former Broncos pass rusher Shaq Barrett is calling it a career for good this time. He said he was going to retire years ago, several years ago. But this time he says it's for good. Why? Barrett failed to land on a team last season. So that told him it was time to hang it up. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to call it a career. He was with the Indianapolis Colts, guys. Oh, he was with the Indianapolis Colts, but he couldn't land on a team this year. And he tried out with some or wanted to try out with some. And he just never got picked up. So he says, well, you know what? It can only go to the well so many times. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to call it a career. Had a great career. He won 2 Super Bowls with Denver, 32 and 33. So or was it just one with Denver? Was he on another team that won the Super Bowl? Or was it only on the Broncos that he won both? I know he won 2. Rudy says, so when did Romo lose his mind? I would say probably when, this is just me, but you know how egos go. I would say probably when he signed that $75 million contract and was on the number 1 team with Jim Nantz. I mean, you can't get much better than being on the number 1 team and a $75 million contract. So, Paul Smith says Tampa Bay Lightning. No, I mean Tampa Bay Lightning. Think hockey again. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Shaq Barrett. Oh, that's right. He was on 10. Thank you so much, Paul. Great comment there in the chat. Thanks so much for squaring me up on that. Yeah, I knew he'd won one with Denver. But I couldn't remember if he was on both the Broncos teams or if he was on somewhere else. So that one, yeah. There you go. There it is. Madungus came back with the same thing. He won 2 Super Bowls, one with Denver in 15 and one with the Bucs. All right. Well, good. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for the information. Really do appreciate the fact. Keep me accountable. Hold my feet to the fire. Keep me honest, because that's what I do. That's why I didn't say he played both. I started and I said he played both. Well, wait a minute. Did he? I kind of backtracked because I couldn't be accurate 100%. So thanks, guys, for making that point. Really do appreciate it. All right. Former Bronco Montrell Washington has found a new home. That home is the Houston Texans. Uh-oh. We play the Texans. Do we play the Texans this year? I think we do. If we don't, we will play them at some point. I mean, we could play them in the playoffs. Playoffs. Yeah, we could play them in the playoffs. Is Montrell Washington going to beat the Broncos single-handedly? Well, if he's a punt return, returns a punt for a touchdown in a critical spot, yeah, he could. Would he love to do that? Most likely, yes. Like any other team or any other player that's been, scoring, so to speak, and them not being on the team that they were drafted by, that kind of thing. Sure, he could have a chip on his shoulder, but he won. I didn't realize this. Washington won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs in 2023. So he already has a Super Bowl. I think he's just chasing the money now because he's already got a Super Bowl. It didn't say how much he's getting on Houston. It just said that the deal was done. So there you go. So he's on Houston Texans. Madunga says we do play. Oh, that's not it. Madunga says we do play the Texans. So there you go. Madunga says we had Montrell in the 5280 right after he got drafted. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that show. That was a great show. And now he's on Houston. So we will see him this year, according to Madungus and looking up the schedule. So apparently we will play Houston and see Montreal, Washington again. All right. That'll be interesting. That will definitely be interesting. All right. Let me move on. Now. Ben Powers, left guard, was slated for a trade or release before he agreed to a pay cut to stay on the Broncos, as well as helping the team with the salary cap. How much was it a hit? Well, Powers' new reduced one-year agreement is a maximum of $8 million with a base of $6 million for that year. Wow. A base of $6 million, a max of 8. Now you're playing 17 games. What's half of 17? 8.5. Why did I make that? Why did I make that comparison? Well, if he's only getting 8 million max, that means he's only getting he's getting like $500,000 per game. $500,000. These guys put their body on the line. We just had a passing away of Billy Ray Smith with CTE from being hit, and he was a lineman, I think, or Billy Ray Smith. No, he was a linebacker. I think Billy Ray Smith was a linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. So he's taking hits. That CTE is not just, something that running backs get, or wide receivers, or quarterbacks because of the hits they get. No, interior linemen, anybody that leads with their head is vulnerable to getting CTE time after time after time of being hit. That's just going to happen. I mean, it's like a concussion. I mean, look at boxing. They get hit in the head all the time, and they wonder why they're all freaking flaky and fluky and all weird. Why? Because your freaking brain is scrambled like eggs. I mean, it's just common sense. I know that NFL tries to do whatever they can to make it safer with the helmets and these pads on there that look stupid, but do work, I guess. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself. But, I mean, $500,000 a game with the money that's out there for people to make? That almost seems like he's... I know he wants to stay on the team, and I know he wanted to be on the team. And I know he's doing the right thing for the team. I looked at that and went, wait a minute. 17 games. 8.5 goes into 8.5 goes 17. 8.5 times 2 is 17. Or yeah. So then you got, so he making only 8 million max. What if he only makes 6? Now he's only making 1/3 per game. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I know Ben did it for all the right reasons, but woo-wee. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Okay. Badungus says, well, but after taxes, he will probably only get $4 million. Plus, he has to pay all his people, so he probably will walk away with $2 million. Well, I mean, I'm not a millionaire. I don't know what $1 million looks like. I don't know what $2 million looks like because I don't even know what $1 million looks like. I ain't never seen that. Well, in money, seeing it, some guy right now, there's $1 million. Yeah, but what does it look like, on dollar bills? Not just dollar bill, but what does it look like in all the bills? That's what I want to see. I want to see what $1 million looks like. So I guess, I mean, if a person can't live off $1 million, person can't live off of $2 million, I guess there's issues, but I don't know, man. 8 million max, 6 million base. All right. I guess. The Ronk, RONQ 82. Shaq Barrett won the Super Bowl championship with Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020. Okay, there you go. So he got it in 2020, and he also got it in Denver. I believe it was 30. Was it 32 or 33? 1 and 2, obviously. Or was it Super Bowl 50? No, couldn't have been Super Bowl 50. That was 2016, Bill. Well, guess it could be. I don't know when he got it. I just know he won a Super Bowl with Denver. Probably, I think it was think, yeah, it would have to be 2016. It would have to be 26. Yeah, thank you. I was going to say it have to be 26. Otherwise, how old would he be? About 80 to be playing if he won it in Super Bowl 32? Yeah, he didn't play in the 90s. Yeah, I know, man. I know. I caught myself, man. I caught myself. Okay. Come on, man. I'm trying to get back in the saddle of doing this and all that kind of good stuff. Update on the Cub game. Bottom third, Chicago 4, Kansas City 1. Sweet. All right. Moving on. Sean Payton, as we get ready to wind this down. Before I do, I'm going to jump in here real quick and bring you up on some injuries in training camp for the Denver Broncos before I go to the last three topics. All right. The Denver Broncos cannot seem to get away from the injury bug, not even in practice. All right. Here we go. Denver Broncos have faced several injury setbacks during the August 26th training camp, highlighted by a devastating torn Achilles for defensive lineman Matt Harrington and minor to moderate ailments affecting wide receiver like Marvin Mims. Oh my gosh. We just lost a guy. We lost a guy for the year. Done. Torn Achilles on a defensive lineman, Matt Henningsen. Golly, man. Suffered a torn Achilles tendon during individual drills and was carted off, sidelining him for the entire season for the second consecutive year. This isn't good. This isn't good, guys. Not at all. Second consecutive year? I don't know. Is he going to be able to come back after a third or come back next year? I don't know. I would hope so, but only if he can stay healthy. He can't even stay healthy now. Back-to-back years done for the season. Let me continue. Marvin Mims, wide receiver, left practice early after pulling up on a deep route, clutching his upper left leg. That's a hamstring. Oh, my gosh, guys. And everybody thinks we got a chance to go to Super Bowl. Oh, I've got that topic as well. Hang on. Tight end Nate Atkins left practice early alongside Mims during team periods. Not good. Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, sidelined with the leg strain, though head coach Sean Payton expects him to return to action quickly. Okay. Nick Benito, offensive linebacker, or outside linebacker. Scared fans with the lower left leg injury during a run game drill, but quickly returned to individual walkthrough work. All right. Nick, outside linebacker, or offensive line, probably offensive line. Nick Gargiulo placed on the physically unable to perform list with a torn ACL. Oh my gosh. Jordan Turner, inside linebacker, placed on a non-football injury list with an undisclosed issue. And Cortland Sutton. Well, now we got two wide receivers done. Not done, but down. Wide receiver Cortland Sutton managed a via planned veteran rest days rather than a severe injury concern. Okay. No concern of an injury. It was just, he just had a vacation, a veteran's vacation day, so to speak. Holy smokes, guys. All those injuries, season ending for the second year in a row. And then we have Marvin Mims pulling up what might be a hamstring. And then you got Jalen Waddle. He left with a leg issue. You got Nick Benito. You've got, it's just on and on and on, guys. On and on and on. It's just, I don't see how people can say, well, I'll save that for a show closer to the season. But I just can't see how people can say the Broncos are Super Bowl bound, or, the window is wide open and they're going to kick the door in, so to speak. And we're going to win more games than we did last year, even though we got a harder schedule. Okay. All right. At this point in time, I don't see it. If we don't have these guys on the field, oh, yeah, I know. They're going to heal. They're going to come back. Okay. To what degree? I mean, you pull a hamstring and it's likely to come back again if it's not 100% fully healed. How long does that take? Depends on the person that the way they heal. Depends on the conditioning. Depends on what they do or don't do. Do they follow the game plan, so to speak, to rehab to get better? I would think so, but everybody's different. Everybody's different. All right. Speaking of Sean Payton, kind of indirectly, sort of, I've got 3 Sean Payton connected Sean Payton to 3 different stories. Here we go. The last 3 of today's very first Broncos Boomer show. And let's get to the third one of the 3. Sean Payton said of Broncos rookie running back Jonah Coleman, and I quote, "He is playing like a veteran and not a rookie. There are a lot to that position. A lot of it is key and one that needs to be able to diagnose. That's been really good for Coleman." End quote. Sean Payton loves this kid. Absolutely loves this kid. Said he's showing veteran. He's showing like he's a veteran and not a rookie. That's fantastic. That's going to put the other running backs on notice. I guarantee it. That's going to put R.J. Harvey on notice. That's going to put J.K. Dobbins on notice. Well, here comes this rookie, and he's coming in here, and he's getting all these accolades from Sean Payton. Well, guess what? Maybe it's because he deserves it. Maybe it's because he's doing what he needs to do. Get out there and do your best. When rookies come in, they're not going to just sit there and look around and watch. And I mean, they're going to do that as well. And they're going to learn. But they're going to go out there and they're going to give it their doggone best. Why? Because if they don't make the team they're on now, they're sending out material to other teams that may have interest in their ability. But most rookies want to make the team that they were drafted by. Most. Not all of them. Not all of them. Not Eli Manning. Remember back in the day, guys, when Eli Manning said he ain't going no freaking Chargers? Hey, I ain't going there. Yeah, I ain't going there. Kind of like pulling a John Elway. Except John Elway had a backup. He was also drafted by the Yankees, so he went to baseball. Well, Eli said, I just ain't playing for the Chargers. Period. So they traded they traded him to the Chargers, traded Eli to the Giants, and they got Ryan Leaf. Well, that was a move up, huh? Yeah, right. Ryan freaking Leaf. What a joke that guy was. Man, yeah. I remember that clearly, man. I ain't playing there. So, hey, like I said, most rookies want to go to the team that drafted them. Some, not so much. But I dare say that Jonah Coleman wants to stay on the Broncos. He's doing everything he possibly can. He wants to be a starter. He don't want to be a backup. He wants to be a doggone starter. All right. The Ron Q82 says Jonah Coleman was my favorite NFL draft pick. Sweet. Yeah, he was. I'll tell you what, man. If he's anything like he's showing Sean Payton in practice, oh man, that's crazy. Oh, that's right. It was Ron Q82 says it was Phillip Rivers. That's right. Why? That's right. Why did I say Ryan Leaf? I don't know why it popped in my head. I was reading something earlier and that popped in my head. I just equated. That's right. Phillip Rivers. That's right. Phillip Rivers. They traded, or he got him, or whatever. Or they got Phillip Rivers, and Eli Manning went to the Giants. That's right. My mistake. Thanks again, guys, for correcting me. I really do appreciate it. I'm not so stuck on myself that I can't take a helpful hint once in a while or a correction every now and then. Hey, I'm human. I still don't know why I said Ryan Lee, but hey, whatever. He was a joke. What a freaking joke, man. All right. The second Sean Payton reference in a different type of topic. And here it is. During interviews after training camp concluded, Sean Payton was asked if this year's Broncos team could win it all. Could the Broncos team today, this season, this year, win the Super Bowl? Peyton didn't hesitate. He didn't say yes. He didn't say no. He laid out 4 things that need to happen to win a Super Bowl, besides obviously making the playoffs and all that. He stated 4 things that have to happen. Number 1, play good defense. No kidding. These are so obvious, it just mind boggles. Just mind boggles. Okay? Play good defense. Hello? No freaking kidding. Really? Because if you play crappy defense, the other team's going to score all over you. So, of course, you have to play good defense. Number 2, again, very obvious. Good quarterback play. Really? You have to have good quarterback play and play good defense? Really? Of course you have to have good quarterback play. You have to run the plays. You have to execute the plays. You have to have time of possession, control the ball, short yardage situations. Have to have good quarterback play. Oh, how about these 2 obvious ones? You have to have a good offensive line. Again, obvious. You have to have a good offensive line so the running backs can run through the holes that you create. On the flip side, you have to have a good defensive line so that you can stop the other team from running and you can rush the passer. These are all extremely obvious. Did Sean Payton say yes? No, he didn't come out and say yes, but he did say the Broncos played great defense last year. That's a fact. He also said the Broncos had good quarterback play until Bo Nix got injured. They had really good quarterback play. Sure, there were mistakes, but there were also great plays and great offensive plays from the quarterback. Was the Broncos offensive line, did they play well? Did they play good? Yes, they did. That's why they made the playoffs. That's why they had the best record in the AFC. And did the defensive line hold their end of the equation? And did they play well? Yes, they did. They recorded 63, I believe it was 63 sacks. And they were chasing the all-time record by the Chicago Bears. So, yeah. The defensive line played well, allowed the linebackers to get in there, stop the run, that kind of thing. Well, not so much towards the end of the season, but they held their own. So if all 4 of those add up, then yes, in my opinion, the Broncos can make the Super Bowl. Can they win it? Any given Sunday? Any given Super Bowl Sunday? Any given Super Bowl year? I don't know. Can they? Are they that good that they can? Would they have won last year with Bo Nix? I don't know. Seattle was a juggernaut. Seattle was tough. I have no idea if the Broncos would have won the Super Bowl. I don't personally believe so. Just because Seattle was so good last year. But no one knows unless you're playing the game. And without Bo Nix, I know we wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. I know we would not have won the Super Bowl had we gotten there. All you have to do is look at how bad New England got their butt kicked. Yeah, there's no way we would have won with a backup quarterback. Not a chance whatsoever. All right. Joshua W8083 says, I don't think anyone was beating Seattle. I agree. I mean, if the Rams couldn't beat Seattle, Broncos ain't beating Seattle. And dang sure New England never had a chance to beat Seattle. Absolutely never had a chance. So that's just my opinion is, if all of those things add up, I don't know. It all depends who you're playing too. I mean, go back to Super Bowl 33. For those of you who remember back in the day, Super Bowl 33. If the Broncos had to play the Minnesota Vikings instead of the Atlanta Falcons, I don't think we win that game. I don't care if we have Terrell Davis, John Elway. I don't care if we had Rod Smith. I don't care. We are not beating that team. Vikings in that year was 15-1. And they were on an absolute roll. They had Randy Moss. They had Randall Cunningham. That team was unbeatable until your field goal kicker can't make a makeable field goal. And the Falcons go right down the field, kick their own field goal. The rest is history. They go to Super Bowl 33, and Denver blows the doors off them. So there you go. I don't think we would have beat Minnesota that year. I absolutely do not believe it. And you know what, guys? I've said this many, many times, and I have no problem saying this. I'm a huge, huge Bronco fan. All of you know that, unless you're Madungus, then you think I'm a Wagoner fan, but that's not true. So I'm a huge Bronco fan. That being said, my NFC team is the Minnesota Vikings. They were my favorite from 1970 to 1976 when I became a Bronco fan, and I still am to this day. But the Vikings are my favorite NFC team. So, had the Broncos and the Vikings played in Super Bowl 33 and the Vikings would have won, I would have been elated because both of my favorite teams would then have won Super Bowls. Would I be disappointed the Broncos didn't go back-to-back? Sure. But to see my NFC team win and have it play against my favorite team, Broncos, in the Super Bowl, yeah, that would have been icing on the cake. That would have been awesome to me. I mean, it would have. I would have had a Viking Super Bowl and a Broncos Super Bowl. But didn't work out that way. Did not work out that way. Anyways, all right, let me get back to the chat. It's blowing up. Let's see. All right, Joshua comes back and says, there's reasons why New England got handled that way. Will Campbell was playing on a partially torn ligament in his knee, and Drake May was playing on an injured throwing shoulder. Okay, that's true. There you go. I'll give you that. But that's why it's very important to try and be as healthy as you possibly can on any given Sunday, especially in the Super Bowl. It's one and done. One and done the Super Bowl. You either win it or you're like all the other 30 teams that didn't make it and didn't win it either. That's the toughest thing in sports. Is only one can be a champion. Only one. And it's the hardest thing to win, obviously. Is any championship. Hardest championship to win is hockey. You got to win 16 freaking games after you've already played 82. Then you've got to win 16 to win the Stanley Cup. Whew. A lot of games. All right. Joshua comes back and says, now even fully healthy Seattle was still winning, but it would have been more competitive. Yeah, that's true. It would have been more competitive because it wasn't that good of a game. That is for sure. Let's see. Madungus comes back and says, think about it this way, Bill. Atlanta beat Minnesota, and we smoked Atlanta. I still think we win that Super Bowl. No, I don't know. I know Atlanta beat Minnesota in Minnesota, but Minnesota had that game. Minnesota absolutely had that game. They let the Falcons back in it, and then they let the Falcons win it because they couldn't make a field goal of their own. Bottom line. But you know what? Hey, I don't know. None of us will ever know. None of us will ever fully know if the Broncos would have beaten the Vikings in Super Bowl 33. Clayton Huron said, what? He says, hey, guys. I said, hey, what's up? Clayton Huron. He says, smash that like button and share, guys. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Clayton. Really do appreciate it. Joshua said, not going to lie, though, Denver scares the crap out of me this year. They are my pick to come out of the AFC. All right, Joshua, who's your favorite team? Since you said Denver scares the crap out of you, who's your favorite team? And it's okay. We welcome everybody. We even had a guy earlier say, Broncos are our rivals or can't stand them or whatever. I mean, hey, we welcome everybody. You could be a Chief fan. You could be a Raider fan. You can be a Charger fan. It's all good. Doesn't matter. You can be a Cleveland Browns fan, Washington Redskins, Commander fan. It doesn't matter. You can be whatever fan you want. There you go. Joshua said the New England Patriots. Well, there you go. All right. Hey, I'll give it to you, man. Patriots with Tom Brady and all that. Oh, dude, you must have been in seventh heaven, man. Winning all those freaking divisions, all those years. Wow. Yeah. Yep. I can totally see totally see that you were related. Joshua, let me ask you this. Did you ever get complacent during the season, thinking, "Oh, we got this season. We're going back to the playoffs. We're eventually going back to the Super Bowl." I have no doubt in my mind. Did you ever get complacent where you didn't really watch the games? You kind of waited for the playoffs or waited closer to the end of the season. I've heard people say that they've been that way with as being a Kansas City Chief fan because they were winning division all those years, 10 in a row. I would never get complacent. You can't. In my opinion, you can't get complacent because it could all end the very next week. You could have your quarterback go out. Look at Kansas City quarterback Patrick Mahomes, torn a couple ligaments in his knee or tendon, whatever. ACL, they have ligaments. Tore a couple ligaments in his knee. So you gonna be the same? They didn't make the Super Bowl this year. Why? Because Patrick Mahomes is out. So you see, I can't get complacent. I watch every Bronco game. And if they're losing, having a bad year, okay. All right. There's next year, but I'm always there. Always there watching, man. Got to. Well, that's very true. Slim E. Bronco says Minnesota was unable to stop the run. Good point. Yeah. And it bit him. It bit him in the backside. Let's see. Anything else that's I'm gonna bring in here? Let's see. Joshua says no, never. Talking about complacent. I always watched every single game. I'm a true fan, born and bred in New England. My fandom only increased after I moved to North Carolina in 2005. Well, great. See, so that's the thing. People say, well, you should be a fan of this team or that team because that's where you live. Oh, BS. You don't have to be a fan of the team just where you live. No, you live where you live because that's where you want to live. That makes any sense. You live where you live because that's where you want to live. You're a fan of a team because that's the team you want to be a fan of. Okay? You don't have to be a fan of the city that you live in. You can love the city and you can love the place where you live in. You don't have to like the teams. I don't have any favorite California team. I don't like any California team except the Padres because my son, my grandson, and my nephew Bobby, who jumps in the chat every now and then. They're all three big, huge Padre fans. So I wish them all the best until they play the Cubs. Then I want the Cubs to beat them. Other than that, yeah, have at it, guys. If you make the playoffs and the Cubs don't, or you make the World Series and the Cubs don't, great. I hope you win it. Because I love to see my grandson and nephew and son just as happy for them winning the World Series as I was when the Cubs won it. Although it's a bigger deal for the Cubs winning it. There's a 108-year gap. So yeah, I mean I would love that. I'd love to see that. But first and foremost, I want the Cubs in the World Series. All right. Let's see. Clayton Aron, Brewers. I know we can't catch those guys. Those guys will not freaking lose. And when we've won 4 or 5 in a row, they've lost maybe one. We're only gained a game or something. Man, we can't beat the Brewers. I'll tell you what. The Brewers, I thought for sure when the Brewers got the new head coach because Craig Counsell came over to the Cubs, I thought for sure they were going to fold. Nope. They picked up right where they left off. I mean, in my opinion, they've gotten better. In my opinion. So it's going to be tough. And when it comes to playoffs, right now the Cubs are the number 1 wild card team. So hope that continues, man. Hope that continues. I want the Cubs to definitely be in the playoffs, no doubt about it. No, it's not Charger Bill. I mentioned that earlier, Madungus. There is no yellow anywhere. This is not yellow. No, this is not yellow. This is orange. This is not yellow. This is red. There is no yellow. That's not even yellow. That's gold. So there. Okay. All right. Very last topic. My laptop is quite warm. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm wondering. Uh-oh. Oh, there I went. Whew. I was off. I didn't see myself for a while. Okay. I need to check this. It's sitting on a pad. It might be too hot for it. Okay. All right. Last before I burn up my laptop and the whole thing just goes boo. I'm gonna do the very, very last topic, and we will wrap this first show of Broncos Boomers up. And here we go. We'll start that up. Sean Payton won't be at practice tomorrow, Saturday, because he will be in Canton, Ohio, inducting his former quarterback, Drew Brees. Payton, when asked how he felt when Brees asked him to present him, Payton said, and I quote, "I can't believe he would want me to be the presenter," end quote. He then paused, collected himself, and wiped away tears unexpectedly to be asked to present his former quarterback and Super Bowl champion quarterback, Drew Brees. Sean Payton will present Drew Brees tomorrow at Canton. I'm going to be watching that. I am going to be watching that. It's going to be so cool. I really like Drew Brees. I like Drew Brees a lot. I didn't like him when he was in San Diego. That's for dang sure. But I sure liked him. I'm glad he got a Super Bowl ring. I'm glad he's inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He absolutely deserves it. Mike Shanahan deserves to be in the Hall of Fame as well. If Drew Brees can be in the Hall of Fame for what he's done, Mike Shanahan deserves to be in the Super Bowl, in the Hall of Fame for what he's done. Back-to-back Super Bowl champions, all those years in the playoffs, just tremendous head coach. And for whatever reason, he is not in the Hall of Fame. That is an absolute travesty. It's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute smack and slap in the face of one of the greatest head coaches in the entire NFL. Down, plain and simple. If it has to do with the Raider thing, let it go. Let it go. That has nothing to do with what he has done as a head coach and accolades that need to put him in the Hall of Fame. It's an absolute disgrace to hold this thing over his head. Well, we're not going to let you in there. We're not saying why. We've had issues with the, we've had issues with the Raiders situation. Like, who cares? Who gives a freaking frosty you know what? It doesn't matter. What should matter is what he did as a head coach for the Denver Broncos. Let everything else go. It's irrelevant. Freaking relevant. You don't think at some point in time that what was his name? Bill Belichick. You don't think for one moment that Bill Belichick won't be in the Hall of Fame? He's had a whole bunch of stuff happen to him. The Spygate, the Deflategate. You don't think Tom Brady's gonna be in the Hall of Fame someday for what he did? Of course he will. Absolutely. Why isn't Mike Shanahan? Now, I'm not taking anything away from Drew Brees, and I'll cut it at that in regards to the Shanahan situation, because I could do a whole hour and a half show on that. What I'm saying is congratulations to Drew Brees. Well deserved. And to have your former head coach, Sean Payton, present you in the Hall of Fame absolutely has got to be the cherry on top of the, I don't know, banana split, hot foot sundae, whatever, icing on the cake, so to speak, the cherry on the top that just seals the deal. Once again, Drew, congratulations on your Hall of Fame induction tomorrow. Could not happen to a better, nice, more humble, more down-to-earth guy than Drew Brees. Once again, congratulations. Awesome. Okay, Victory Lap is in the house. In the chat says Waddle update. I said it earlier in the show, a couple of segments ago. Sean Payton says that Jalen Waddle, he's expected him to come back to practice relatively soon. Didn't put a date on it, didn't put a day on it, but he said relatively soon he expects him back. The worst one was the injury to I can't remember his name. Lineman. Oh, I just had it. Let's see. The critical one is Matt Henningsen. He was carted off on August 7th, which is today, with a torn Achilles tendon during the individual drills exactly 1 year after suffering the same injury in 2025. He's out for the season. So there you go. That one hurts. Exact same thing. Was it the same foot? The same Achilles? They didn't say. But it says the exact same injury. I don't know if this guy can ever play. I really don't know if this guy can ever play. If you've got back-to-back seasons of torn Achilles, that isn't good. You only got two of them. And if you've torn both of them or the same one twice, either way, it ain't good. Either way, it's not good at all. Back-to-back years out for the season. Waddle, let me see. It says sideline with a leg strain, expected to miss 4 to 5 days, but progressing in recovery. So there you go. They just put a timeline on there. 4 to 5 days. Okay. Nick Benito suffered a lower leg scare during a drill. Coach Sean Payton indicated that he's expected to be fine. Luke Wattenberg missed time following a minor injury scare, but quickly returned to the field. Marvin Mims pulled up holding his upper left leg, which is a hamstring most likely, while running a deep route on August 7th today and left for the locker room. So there you go. Those are all the major updates. And thanks for asking Victor Lapp, and also thanks for being in the chat. Really do appreciate it. Awesome guys to be back live, be back doing the show. It's a Friday, and you know what that means, guys? The weekend is right around the corner. So that being said, let me go down the chat real quick and name the people who took the time to be in the chat, make the comments. Really do appreciate it. Dakota White House, thank you so much for starting us off. Really do appreciate it. Tycho Gomez, thank you so much. Raider fan, 8 fan, that's all good. Really do appreciate being in the chat. Let's see, I got Dakota again. I mentioned him. Mitch, thank you so much for being in the chat. I know you asked a question about rugby, but I have no idea about rugby or soccer. I just something I don't follow, I don't get into. But thank you for being in the chat. Appreciate it. The other one, Auto Detroit, thank you so much for your comment. Dragon Maw, thanks for this for the comment, and then I gave you a big shout out. JW Whitting, thank you so much for your question about Kona. Thank you so much. We got David Yonkin celebrating 8 months of being a member. Thank you so much. And then we've also got Bobby Soker. Thank you for your comments. Really do appreciate it. US Dave, thank you so much. Rudy Torres, my brother-in-law in South Carolina. Thank you so much. Madungus, thank you for the GOAT shout out. Really do appreciate it. You got Steve Stanley. Thank you so much being in the chat. Appreciate it. Paul Smith, thank you so much as well. Joshua Morrison, appreciate it. Thank you so much for being in the chat. Ron Q82, appreciate it. Thank you guys. Clayton Huron, always love seeing you in the chat. Thank you for stopping in. Your comments as well. Thank you for saying smash that like button and share, guys. Absolutely. Thanks. Appreciate it. Victory Lap rounding it up for the night. Really do appreciate it. Oh, we got one last one. Hybrid says too many scares too soon in the season. I don't like it. I absolutely agree. I don't like it either. Too many scares, too many injuries, one season ending for sure. So thanks, guys, each and every one of you, week after week, as we start back up again, for being in the chat, for your comments. Really, really do appreciate it. Absolutely means a lot. Keeps the show going. Without you guys comments in the chat, there's no reason to do the show whatsoever, because I would be talking to a brick wall, and I can do that without being live. So there you go, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for watching, participating, for being in the chat, for your comments. Guys, enjoy the weekend, whatever you may do. It's still summertime. The little Darwin kidlets are still out of school most places. So, guys, enjoy the weekend. We'll enjoy barbecuing, whatever you may be doing. We will talk to you next Friday, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Till then, guys, have a fantastic Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll talk to you next week, same time, same place. Till then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.